Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, all the new subscribers and old subscribers. This is Judy, and I'm going to show how I made this flower, how to request for that. And I'm going to show how to make that. I use this punch here. This I got from AC Moore's a few months ago. It's a large petal punch. I'm going to show how to make it. I just cut strips of paper so I won't mess up too many when I'm punching it. I just cut them about 3 inches wide. And I'll punch out. I use the punch, and I punch out about 5 to make petals. The petals that's on there. That's the back of it. And it does have like a lock here where you can unlock it. And I like to look at the back, and it shows you if you're punching it correctly. And just punch. So you're going to do 5 of these. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. And that's 5. So you're done with that. And just grab your petals that you punch and put them all together in the same size. That way when you're making your flower, it'll all be where you just have to grab them and do your petals on it. Oh, that's the wrong one. I just put all the same size together. This is a larger than next, and then the next would be here, petal. And this is supposed to be the center of the flower. This here. What I do is I take this is an embossing tool. I got this from the dollar store. I already opened it. And it embosses your cardstock. And I'm using cardstock. I'm not using paper. I'm using cardstock. And what I do is I take and run. You can do whatever you want really with it. Just run down the middle of it and put like a crease in it. All your petals. If you want, you could even go around the edge with this. And then I just crease it like that. Just do all of them like this. And crease. It like embosses it. Just do all of them like that. This is the next size. And this is an easy flower to make. It's like a 3D flower. Just go down the middle of the petal from one point to the other point, like this. And then just fold it like from one point to the other point. And it sort of looks like a Christmas, I guess you would call it poinsettia, them red ones. And this embossing tool, these can be expensive at Michael's. So I got this one at the Dollar Tree store. And I like it because it takes and puts like a crease. It embosses it and puts like a print in it. Okay, so that's the next size. I'll put them in order. And then I usually take one of these, the little dot things that's on there that punches out. Oh, that's clear on it. That little dot thing. And then I'll put it like in the middle. And then I take my petals, and use some glue. You gotta have tacky glue. I think that's good. Now I got it. And I take my petals, and see the way I have the petals? This is a larger petal, goes in the back. These are the larger ones. And they're going to go in the back. They'll be in the back of the flower. And I take and put a little bit of glue on it. And then I'll just stick it to one of these little circle that punches out. That's the center of the flower. And then I just do the other one like that until I get them all glued down. Make sure you put enough glue. And then just glue them down. You could use these flowers for a card. You can use them to make a wreath. Oh, it's stuck. I'll wipe that off. And then it should look like that. And then you're going to take the next largest ones. So we just used that size. And we're going to take the next largest size, these here. And then we're going to glue them in between. See where I got the slit? I got to let that dry. You're going to put them in between like that. So you're going to take in between this part, and that's where they'll be glued down. Make sure you put enough glue, because they have to dry, they'll fall apart. And then if they go flat, you can just fluff them up after you get them all glued down. See, you're going to see this part here? That's where you're going to try to keep this leaf line, so this bigger leaf will show. And then you're going to do them all like in between here. You're going to glue it down like this, and it'll be in between the two leaves. And just glue them down like this. And it begins to start to look like a that poinsettia flower. Glue. I need some better glue that dries quick. And then you just glue them down, so you have 5 petals for each row. That's why you punch out 5 of these. 5 punches. I ain't got that one right. And it should be something like that. That's how it should start looking. And then you're going to take your other petals and you're going to start the next ones. And you're going to go in between these flowers here, these ones that you just put here, and between them two. And you're going to go on down like in the middle. See how I got like that one in the middle? This one here. The next one will go in between these two flowers here. I mean, in between them two petals. And it begins to look like poinsettia, Christmas poinsettia. I don't think wait a minute. Got that one, got that one over there. And I gotta get this one. Another one will go in between these two. And then you'll go all the way around, all 5 petals. And then this one will go in between these two here. I'll make a mess with this glue. Whew. Get it all over my table, and I have to wash it up. And it should look about like this when you get it done. And then all you can do, if you want when it dries, you can take and crease these back up to make it look like 3D. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, you get these gemstones at Michael's. I'm going to use a clear one. One of the clear ones here. And I'm going to put it in the middle of the petal right here. And I'm going to use the glue and just glue it down in there. This glue does dry clear, so that glue does. So if you have a little bit of glue sticking over on the edge, it'll dry clear. But I like to put a lot. And it should look like that. And then what I do, because I had put a circle on the back of that one. I like to put a circle on the back of it. And I use this circle punch. And this is a thick Frisker punch. That's the name of it. And the punch is like that. And I don't know how big the circle is. Let me measure it when I get it, when I cut it, when I punch it. And the circle is about 1.5 inches. It goes from 13 to 14 and a half. So it's 1.5 inches. And then I like to just glue this on the back. I'll just put lots of glue back there. And then just glue it on down. If you get your flower flat, and you can always puff it up. But you don't have to when it dries anyway. You can leave it flat, or you can see how it looks flat. But I like my leaves like sticking up like this. If you're going to use it and mill it for a card, you might want it to lay flat. And it should look about like this after you're done. And it looks like a poinsettia. About like that. Here's the other one I made. That's one I made. And it's a cute little flower. So if you wanted to make a card, you would take another piece of cardstock. Let me shut this up. I get too much stuff laying out on my table. And it's dependent on how you want to make your card. This sheet is the flower measures. These flowers measure about one. Let me say 1, 2, 3. They're about 3 inches, 4 inches, probably about 4 inches wide. That's a big flower. And then you can either cut your paper. This is an 8.5 by 11. You can either cut it this way. Let me see which way I want to cut it. Yeah, I think I'll cut it that way. Make it a long. Okay, this is a 8.5 wide this way and 11 inches this way. So I have to cut this 4 1/4 to make it in half. Right? Yeah. And I'm going to make the card. I'm going to fold it like in half, like this. And then I'm going to just and then you can put your flower on there like that. So this card is set up like this. Instead of open, it is set up like this. It'll open like this. Instead of opening, you know, some of them open this. This one's going to open like this way. And then I'm going to just glue it down. This is just a simple, easy card to make for Christmas. I'm going to put some glue on the back of it so I can glue it to the cardstock. This is white cardstock. I'm going to glue it back here. And then I'm going to take, I don't know, you can either use red or you can use black ink. And that's what kind of ink I'm using. I'm going to see if it stamps first because I don't want to mess it up. Let me get a piece of paper to test it. Should I use red or black ink? I guess I'll use black because I got that red flower. And I'm going to use this stamper here. This one says Merry Christmas. It's like one of them rubber stampers. And I'm going to try to ink a lot of ink on it. There we go. And then I'm going to try not to mess it up. And then I'm going to stamp right here at the bottom. And then it says, Merry Christmas. And then you can write whatever you want on the inside. So that's my easy card. You gotta be careful you get ink all over your projects. And you put the, and that's how I make my flowers. Well, you make them like this, they look like poinsettia, but you also could probably make them different way, like use less petals or something like that, make them look different. But this is an easy Christmas card. And then maybe in another video I'll show you how to make the envelopes that I make for my cards. I think I got an envelope right here that I made, but I didn't have my cutting board here, so I won't be able to show you how to make it. Here's the envelopes that I made, and I just make them for different sizes of card that I make. That's too small, but this one will work with this card. The only thing with when you make a homemade card, you can't, gotta use glue to seal it. And then when making your own card, you can use any kind of paper you want. You just don't have to use white paper to make your envelopes. You can use any kind of paper you want. And this is how I make my flowers. And I make it with this, forgot what the name of this punch is called. This is, I'm going to do my, oh yeah. It's EK Tools. EK Tools. And it's the petal punch. And you can get this in it. I got this at AC Moore a couple months ago. And I also got this one at AC Moore's. This 1.5 circle punch. And you can get these at Michael's. And this paper here I got at Walmart's, but you can get that at Michael's too. And these were from Michael's in the dollar bin. Okay, thank you, and thank you for watching.